Hey, fifth graders, here with another video. This is again from the field trip that we were supposed to be going on this May, but things happen, circumstances change. So the presenter for this presentation, he is all about ticks and mosquitoes. So you'll probably learn some really new, interesting facts that you don't know about these little creatures that we are all too familiar with. So it's kind of a nice scientific look at these little creatures that are really prevalent right now in Minnesota. And so I do have a slideshow from him to present. And so I'm going to switch over to my display capture, get rid of this, and we will be on our way. So, cancel. All right, introduction to Mosquito Mania. So how many of you have ever been bitten by a mosquito? Mosquitoes are one of the most pesky members of the animal kingdom. We've all been affected by them, so it's good to know why they are such bothersome creatures and what we can do about it. You may have some questions for our presenter about mosquitoes, so make sure you're listening up and hopefully we will get them answered. here and treat for mosquitoes. Okay? Mosquitoes can transmit viruses to humans by taking a blood meal from an infected organism, such as a bird or a small rodent, then potentially transmit the virus to another host. The treehole mosquito is the primary vector of the West Nile virus and many of the encephalitis in Minnesota and much of the United States. This mosquito's life cycle is dependent on small pools of water. So there's the disease transmission. So some ways that we control these mosquito-borne illnesses is that we do a lot of surveillance and tracking. And so there are people whose job it is to go out and to actually collect information about what mosquitoes are in what areas and in what numbers. They also try to do some larval control. So they'll do some pesticide collection, or I'm sorry, distribution, and like putting pesticides on things. They will try to just get rid of any potential of those tree bore holes where they can lay their eggs and things like that. So adulticiding is the process of spraying chemical to kill adult mosquitoes. So this is primarily done in areas of high use when mosquitoes are abundant, and in some cases by request, or if it is determined that the mosquito population warrants it. Fogging by truck or all-terrain vehicles is used, as are backpack sprayers. These forms of control are most often used when potential disease-carrying mosquitoes are sampled in order to protect the human population. This form of mosquito control everyone can take part in. This is called source reduction. This is one of the most effective ways to reduce the number of mosquitoes is to eliminate their habitats. This means filling tree holes and dumping out any water holding containers that can serve as habitats, such as buckets, cans, flower pot saucers. Keeping bird baths and swimming pools clean is another important step. Old tires should be discarded. The MMCD will pick up any old tires as a service to residents to help keep the mosquito population down. And what can you do to fight the bite? The best way to prevent mosquito-borne illness is to remove things that are required for the virus transmission cycle. We know it's not realistic to get rid of all the forests that support the tree hole mosquitoes, chipmunks, and squirrels that transmit the virus. And it's not practical to go through the woods with a bucket of cement and seal up all the tree holes we find. There are lots and lots of tree holes. The more realistic ways to reduce the number of tree hole mosquitoes is being produced around the home. As we learned earlier, tree hole mosquitoes don't tend to fly far to look for a blood meal. Most probably don't go more than a few hundred feet. So if you have a habitat for them at home, they are likely to feed on you. We know that tires, buckets, cans, and other man-made containers can produce a lot of tree hole mosquitoes. Actually, the man-made container produce more tree hole mosquitoes than tree holes do. So removing unneeded containers from around the home or placing them so they won't hold water is one way to reduce the number. If containers must be there, like bird baths or pet bowls, empty the water out of them each week so that mosquito larvae in them won't have time to complete their cycle. So you can use mosquito repellents containing an active ingredient like DEET, hopefully not greater than 30%. This is another way you can help get rid of those tick bites. You can also wear protective clothing. Long and light and loose is really what you're looking for in this one. You also want to avoid the peak feeding times, which are dusk to dawn, right? So during those times, you just want to be extra careful to help prevent those mosquito bites.